He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Hole Podcast, episode 66. Coming at you live, as always, brought to you by Tanner Fred and me, Zach Former. Tanner, say what's up to the people.
He's got the whole world in his hands. Bray Wyatt, Eater of Worlds.
We have been calling for it. The world has been calling for it. I never got off the Bray is coming back train.
And here we are.
The doubts seeped in a lot throughout
October
the year.
9th, 8th,
Yeah.
2022.
What are we, a year and a half removed
Pretty
from
much.
Bray Wyatt? And now?
No.
A year?
Oh my God. He hasn't wrestled since
Yeah.
last
It's been
WrestleMania.
a very long time.
Wow. But he's back.
But he's back.
He's back. New Bray Wyatt. The third Bray Wyatt we've now seen.
I mean, the mask is cool, but since he pulled it off already,
Yeah, I don't think the mask is a
part of the character
long-term thing.
I think you're probably
Or if
right.
it is, I think it's going to be used similar to how the sheep masks were used.
Yeah.
Where, like,
Just
it's not really to hide the identity, it's just
Right.
more part of the bit.
right.
So,
I mean, what a way to end the show.
it is one of, I would say, the most controversial returns. Because the way it was done, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
I haven't been on the internet enough since Extreme Rules to know if there's negative backlash.
I think I would understand why people would be upset that it's just like, okay, he's back, now what?
Right. They didn't give him anything.
Yeah. Which could be a good thing because there's a lot going on right now.
I don't see that as a problem.
No,
Yeah.
I personally don't think so, but I could see how people would be a little bit disappointed with that.
Because wouldn't you be equal parts disappointed if he came in and it was just like, okay, Roman?
I agree.
Like,
no, I would.
Wouldn't you be more disappointed that way? At least this is open-ended.
True.
Where it could be anyone.
It is.
Did he come back after Seth's match because he's here for Seth?
Maybe.
Did he come back at the end of the pay-per-view just because it was the end of the pay-per-view?
I don't know.
Who knows?
But there have been some rumors, some rumblings about the new thing being the Wyatt 6,
Yeah.
which with certain WWE superstars playing the characters of
Yeah. And maybe
the Buzzard,
Yeah.
Sister Abigail. There were some rumors of Seth and Liv even being involved, although I don't think that's going to be the case anymore,
Yeah.
at least for Seth, because they blacked out their Twitters.
Right.
But I know Joe Gacy and Grayson Waller had some stuff to say because apparently they were some of the people behind the masks, but that's probably just placeholder stuff.
Right. Alexa Bliss, of course. Welcome back, old friend.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
I don't
A lot
know.
to talk about.
And I think it's good. I think that this is probably a good time for it. I didn't think they would do it at Extreme Rules. I honestly thought it would be at a bigger event. But like we said last week, how long can you keep us interested with just the White Rabbit
I agree.
stuff? So they got here, and now again they do another vignette of Bray Wyatt on Raw, where it's like revel in what you are. But what does that mean?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
It's a good question.
It is a good question. I don't know, because Saudi's kind of filling up already, Crown Jewel.
And if I'm being honest, we don't really need him on TV yet.
I don't think we need him on TV. I would like to see him on TV. I would say I would alter what you said just a little bit. I don't think we need to see him in a feud.
That's what I mean. We don't need him, who is he really going for just yet? Just have him keep doing these things where he's like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Just know I'm here.
Yeah.
Because...
Very Karrion Kross-esque in the way, other than his is more focused, but
Right.
still just like, hey, I'm around. Be careful.
it is shaping up more and more to me now with him being back that this will end the Logan Paul match with Roman.
I believe so.
Because, again, I said, do you want to just throw him to Roman right away with no, storyline? No, not necessarily. But at the same time, nobody thinks Logan Paul's winning.
True.
So what better way to do it than have Roman, even if Roman goes over clean first, then be like, well, now you got to face somebody for real, buddy.
Yeah.
And, here we go.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I am interested to see if this will be a third persona for Bray, or if this is the new Bray, and we still see the Fiend.
Something about this tells me the Fiend is dead, because the way that the Firefly Funhouse would lead you to believe the Fiend is still around, right?
Yeah.
But the whole display, the whole show of it was all of these other personas of Bray, like Husky Harris, and then I guess not really. They did Huskus the Pig, the Vulture.
Well, you gotta remember, those are the old personas.
Right.
It's Mercy, the Buzzard.
Yeah. So they also had the Fiend in the crowd. Yeah. So I feel like that is we've progressed past this. We've progressed past this.
Maybe.
We've progressed past this, and now we're here, new Bray Wyatt stepping through that door.
Maybe.
I don't think it's I'm returning, it's I'm stepping through a new portal, for instance.
I see what you're saying. But
only time will tell.
We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that said,
I just think there's a lot of story to tell with the Fiend.
Oh, there's still so much is right. Also, outside the ring a little bit, with what Seth Rollins said about the Fiend,
yeah,
I almost think they're going to move on.
I think if you use it more as a demon character, Finn does, where it's not every other pay-per-view, you see it maybe once a year.
I come out to get over, not I'm here and always over.
Yeah. Because
what Seth said, for those that didn't see it, he was nobody who feuded with the Fiend ever came out better for it.
Yeah.
Everybody was worse off for feuding with the Fiend. He's absolutely right. Randy got worse off for it.
Yeah.
Seth was worse off for it. And those are the two big ones.
And even though Goldberg really buried him,
yeah,
everyone hated Goldberg for that.
Right. So Goldberg was worse off too. That was a lose-lose for Goldberg, honestly,
100%.
because if you lose, you're just supposed to lose. But if you win, it's you just ended the Fiend.
Yeah.
So, but with that said, a lot to do, a lot to get into.
Yeah.
Let's recap some Extreme Rules.
Start off with the Women's Extreme Rules match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
We called it.
Mm-hmm.
Me specifically called it. You were a little bit more I think this will let them hide their flaws. And it should have.
It didn't.
It should have.
It did the opposite.
It did the opposite.
Yeah.
These two women cannot wrestle.
Yeah,
Still. Still.
It's crazy.
And I don't know what's happened. Liv has gotten substantially worse.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
A noticeable step back in her ability.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a confidence thing, she became champion and started overthinking everything. I need to be perfect. Because you don't need to be perfect, but you need to be better than that.
Absolutely. Especially when, Bianca and Bayley did such a good job.
Oh, my goodness. The dichotomy.
Yeah.
What a great women's match is and what a terrible women's match is.
And I think it could have slid by under the radar if not for the finish.
Maybe. You might have just forgotten about it if it wasn't for the finish.
But that finish was...
It was abysmal. The
really
setup,
bad.
It took so long to get there.
Long. Just give it up and go back into something else.
And then how are you going to smile while you're getting choked out? You're smiling, getting put to sleep. And people are oh, well, she's just showing that it's not done. She's not giving up. It's not over. They're going to do this again. Don't.
No.
Don't do it.
I don't need a fourth.
Don't. This was terrible.
Yeah, I really don't need a fourth.
It cannot be worse than this.
No.
And they keep trying to set the bar lower. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. We started with Women's Survivor Series, then Women's Elimination Chamber or whatever. They are all bad. And this was so bad that... Despite me standing by Women's Survivor Series last year being the worst match of all time, this is giving it a run for its money. Yeah. This was bad from start to finish.
The notable problem with Ronda, and say what you will, but I think this is fair because I would make the same take for the men. Mm-hmm. When you look at the men who have come across from mixed martial arts, Riddle, not Bob, but Bob, not Brock, but Brock, you know what I'm saying? They still wrestle WWE style. Yeah. Ronda Rousey is still wrestling like she's in the octagon.
Right.
And while that's appealing to some, if I wanted to see that, I would go watch UFC.
Right. You know why Riddle plays because he hits a combo of punch, punch, kick, kick, senton.
Exactly.
Like, the senton is the part that ties it all together.
Exactly. But I don't need to see a hip toss every time. I don't need to see an arm drag every time.
No, and realistically, it looks like the girl she's doing it with, at least Liv especially, they just don't know how to take it.
Yeah.
So it just ends up looking worse.
Yeah. Like, judo is a cool sport, but it's not fun to watch. Like,
Right.
it's not exciting.
No. And if you're going to go for, like, a jiu-jitsu hold, right? If you're going to go for an arm bar
It
or
needs
a
to be
triangle,
clean. It has to be clean.
at least practice it with the other person so they know how to get themselves there for you.
Yeah.
Because Liv was just standing hunched over, doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it's bad. It just is
It's
bad.
bad, and, like, whatever they are calling that submission that she choked her out with,
It
wouldn't
like,
choke you out.
It was literally like a modified disarmor.
It was like a triangle. It was like a leg triangle.
Yeah, it looked
It
awful.
looked really bad.
And Liv had, I mean, obviously you don't want her to actually get choked out and
Yeah.
die, but like there was no sign of her in any pain.
No, not at all. That's the thing. Like, they do a lot of like real maneuvers and make them look good. Still, like Brock does the Kimura.
Yep.
Like Taker's triangle
Was good,
looked
yeah.
like a real triangle.
Right.
Even though he's obviously not choking anyone out. But you can still make it look good
Yeah.
and have it not be real.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a disappointing match.
But the silver lining of
We
the
only
whole
went up from
card,
there.
it was the worst match, maybe of the year. But the rest of the card was sick.
Very good.
The rest of the card was awesome.
So good.
So let's start with the first match.
Okay.
The Donnybrook.
Great way to start the match.
Awesome.
Great way to get the energy going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wish we had known prior to our recording last week that Sheamus lost the rematch IC because
Might have
for
changed my pick.
certain I would have changed my pick.
I agree.
However, the result, I don't necessarily know if it matters to me because the match was awesome.
Awesome.
Gunther and Sheamus beat the hell out of each other as expected. You could tell that with the 10 beats of the drum, Gunther did not sign up for that.
No, he did not. He hated that.
He was
Hated
getting hit so hard, and then he just let go and dropped
just
down.
sold that on it.
Yeah.
There is a lot of now jumping ahead a little bit, but with the return of the OC, there's a lot of good 3-man tag teams. You know, forming.
Yes.
We've got, I mean, Hit Row is 2 right now.
Hit Row is 2 right now.
You can find someone. But them, Legato, OC. What are their names? What's
Judgment
Sheamus' name?
Day.
Judgment Day.
Oh, the Brawlers, the whatever.
What are they?
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember their name, but something like that.
Yeah.
Sheamus' group. And then
Wow.
Imperium. It's a
Imperium.
lot. It's good. And then, I mean, the Bloodline's
I was
4,
about to say with
5,
the Bloodline
but
too. Yeah.
it's a lot of good ones.
The New Day. Sad
New
face.
Day, sad face.
Sad face. No
Yeah,
New
but
Day.
there's some good teams forming.
Shaping up to
Yeah.
be good. Some
Very
stables.
good. And then we'll see what happens with Bray if he does anything with a stable. But
Gotta think Braun is gonna get back involved in that. That
I don't
would be
know.
Sweet.
I don't know if I could buy Braun being like that kind of character again. But we'll see.
I could buy it. Back with because all it takes is Bray to do the
That's
talking.
true. That's true.
Convince you. All right, moving on from match 1, which was an awesome match.
Incredible match.
Really, really good. If you haven't seen Extreme Rules,
Watch it.
definitely go watch it.
Yeah.
You can skip the second match, do yourself the favor, and actually do skip it. Don't even,
Yeah,
you should skip it.
not very good.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And then it gets into match number 3,
Mm-hmm.
which was, drawing a blank here, Bueller.
Wasn't Edge.
No, it was not.
Oh man, this is
Nope.
bad.
Nope. One more before it. Bueller.
Great podcasting here.
Bueller. Why are we drawing a blank? It was such a good card, too. And I know this match was going to be good. Bueller. Don't stop watching just yet. Yes, Drew
Cross.
McIntyre and Karrion
Karrion
Kross.
That's
Oh, my goodness.
Apologies on that one.
How could we forget?
Yeah, that's bad.
Such a good match,
Such a good match.
except for the finish.
I
I know what they're trying to do. They're just not doing it right.
I think that's the real problem.
You want them both to look good,
Yeah.
and they both can look good. You want Scarlett's involvement because last time you had Scarlett here, you didn't do a good job of doing that.
Yeah.
You're doing that again. But realistically, what's happening here is you're making Cross look very bad and making him look entirely dependent on Scarlett. when it should be he benefits from Scarlett. He doesn't necessarily need Scarlett.
I agree.
Because we kind of had this conversation on last week's episode where I said, oh, I think he'll win because of some type of Scarlett involvement.
Yeah.
Did I think she was going to pepper spray Drew McIntyre? No, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, a little bit.
But then you said, and which I then followed up and agreed, like, you're probably right. When the big matches happened, even when he was on NXT, Scarlett went away.
Yeah.
They should probably get back to that.
I agree. I thought the big problem with this match, and it's not really the fault of the match or anybody in it, it's just the fault of the stipulation.
It's a stupid step.
Is eventually you just get to the point of them hitting each other with those straps.
Right.
Like, that's the match.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, while that's cool for a little bit, like, it does get old pretty fast.
It is the worst stipulation in WWE.
Yeah, I think so.
And we talked about it last week and even the week before that.
What about the zombie lumberjack match, though?
Okay, well, that was a one-off. That will
Sure.
never happen again. This is something that they are going to too frequently, if you ask me. But we talked about it. You can get the same effect if you can't run away in a cage match.
Mm-hmm.
And you have two of the biggest guys on the roster that everyone wants to watch beat the hell out of each other. Like, let them go at
100%.
and get after it. Do it in the cage. And I know the fight pit reasoning. It all made sense why they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But you're also on Extreme Rules. Like,
You can find something.
yeah, like, let's have an Extreme
Tables
Rules
match.
Something.
Something. They haven't done a tables match in a long time.
No, but the match was fine. It was good until the end.
Yeah, I agree. The end was a little bit underwhelming. It didn't really... I don't know. It definitely continues the feud into Saudi.
That's what it did. And I think with knowing Bray coming back and all that, like, it seemed like Cross or Drew was probably the next guy up, right?
It did. It did seem that way.
And now I think maybe they're going in a different direction.
No, I think it's possible they're still next guy up. It just... They had to...
Get one more
out of it.
One more.
And now you could get him into a cage.
Yeah.
And the story's there for it now, too, additionally.
Right, because now you could say,
now
well,
there's
now we're not
nothing,
just keeping you in, we're keeping her out.
Yeah.
And you're right, that works.
So we'll see what happens. I thought the stuff with him not wearing the strap in the beginning was a little weird.
Just didn't really make sense.
Yeah, I thought
like, the head game aspect of it, like, okay, that's fine.
the first time, whatever.
Yeah, no, not going to do it.
The second time was a little much.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do it, have him toss it the first time and then Scarlett grab it. Yeah. That's fine. I don't know why they did it twice.
Especially because, like, the strap match, it's no DQ to begin with.
Yeah, you just do it.
So, like, what, you're going to just take it and whip them with it? Like,
yeah.
Of course you're going to do that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's part of the rules.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to. You're encouraged.
But again, good match. The finish is questionable to me.
I agree.
I think they'll book them better moving forward.
I agree. Women's ladder match.
Yes, women's ladder match. Awesome.
Really good.
Awesome.
I have small problems with Bianca just beating all of Damage Control.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't love that. Mm-hmm. I think that was not a good move overall.
Right, because what I said last week, and I stand by it, you can win the ladder match without making Bayley look bad. Because it's a ladder match. Like, the stipulation lends itself to, like, a freak accident where you can't finish. Like, I got tossed off the ladder, and then Bianca climbed and won. Yeah. Okay.
Happens.
All right, now wrestle me for real. I'm a better wrestler. Okay, story continues.
Yeah.
This is like, I out-wrestled you, I out-wrestled your gang, and then I still beat you when I was pinned under a ladder. It's tough to tell me Bayley gets another shot.
Yeah. It is going to be hard to convince me that Bayley deserves another shot.
Because I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. She's just going to
I think so, too.
They're going to continue the feud. But it really is hard to sell me that Bayley is the legitimate number one contender.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
I don't know who else would be.
Right.
But I do see your point that it doesn't really make sense now that, like, oh, how are you going to tell me Bayley deserves another shot?
Right. It doesn't. You can't. You will.
Also, it kind of buries your tag team champions.
Yes.
Bad.
Pretty
like,
bad.
badly.
Yeah.
That Bianca's just better than both of them.
Shout out to Bianca for saving that spot
in
the turnbuckle because Io was not set up properly and she was not giving you anything.
No.
But they hit the double KOD. It's very cool. I mean, Bianca's she's a brute. She's
insane.
So strong. She's an incredible athlete, probably a top 10 athlete in the company.
Probably
just
pound for
overall.
pound for sure. Yeah,
she's sick. She's insane. And this goes to, like, what we spoke about again. If you book the story right it's all better and whatnot, but like her title reign's been so boring. But this is what makes her the champion.
Yeah.
Like the difference between what Liv was doing and what Bianca does is even when the story's mid, she comes out and delivers a great match.
Yeah.
Liv, you're getting the story with Ronda, which is probably the better story.
Probably, yeah.
And you just do nothing with it.
Yeah. I agree.
And there's a caliber of women, and Charlotte's coming back now, and I think we got to get the upper echelon moving again.
Maybe. I agree.
So,
you get Becky back soon,
Yeah.
hopefully.
and then
Her shoulders dislocated or whatever.
and then we'll just see what happens from there because the Raw Women's Champion is head and shoulders above the SmackDown Women's Champion, and it's not even close.
I agree. It seems, though, allegedly, that Charlotte's going to come back and feud with Bianca rather than go to SmackDown.
Well, that doesn't help us at all then.
I mean, helps the Raw main event picture. It's going to be insane.
I mean, Charlotte and Bianca, I could probably
Have
watch.
they wrestled before
Yes.
for a title?
I don't know. Not great historian here.
No.
But
Not that I remember.
I'd probably watch the two of them go all day because the two best athletes in the women's division.
And I know Bianca said she wants to beat all 4 horsewomen at WrestleMania. She's 2-0.
She beat Becky and she beat Sasha.
Sasha Banks. 2 left.
It seems like they're not going to get Bayley this year. They could time it up to get Charlotte,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
and then you just got to hope for the best next year
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's possible.
Yeah.
See what we got.
All right.
Next match.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Edge. Finn Balor.
Again,
Fire mask.
awesome match.
Oh, talking about his mask.
Oh, Fire Mask. Yeah, he came out with Kanye
Yeah,
mask.
Kanye. That was
The
jokes.
Yeezus
But
mask.
again, sick match.
Awesome.
They gave him a lot of time, which was fantastic. Really let him go.
Good storytelling. The amount of back and forth of we went, oh, God, I can't believe Finn's winning right now. Oh, God, they're doing it. Edge is going to win.
Yeah.
No, wait, Finn is going to lose. Like, it was good. They did a great job.
And then you nailed it how it would end because
Yeah.
you just picked the wrong person.
Yeah, I picked the wrong person.
Yeah.
There was no way Finn was quitting for someone in the Judgment Day. And I didn't think there was any way Finn was just going to say, I quit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew for sure they would go super face Edge. Someone's getting beat. They're going to have Edge quit to save somebody else. That ending. Whew. That chair shot might have been a little too real.
A little bit of a... maybe I have to watch it back again to see what really was.
They didn't
but
really show
live,
the replay
No, they
either.
didn't.
So I'm thinking she really hit her on the
Live,
head.
she got her. It looked clean as hell.
Yeah. And not that that's really going to kill you, like they say. Like,
No,
the
it's
purpose
not.
of the concerto is like, I'm going to put you out of business
Yeah,
forever.
no,
like,
you're fine.
But
it looked like she got her
you
pretty
definitely don't want to get hit to the skull with
No.
a chair.
It didn't look like she was bleeding or anything, so
No.
that's a good sign
Right.
at least. But
Well,
it looked like she caught her
I mean,
flush.
remember when Beth was at the Elimination Chamber or the Rumble when she was bleeding out of her head and
Yeah.
just kept wrestling?
Yeah.
So she's a savage.
She's tough, yeah.
What does this mean? Are we getting a one-on-one of Rhea and Beth? Like,
I don't know.
are we going to get a mixed
I
tag?
pray to God it's not a mixed tag. If it's a mixed tag, I think I'm skipping that match.
I'm probably with you.
I could go with that. We don't need every feud to just be a mixed
with
tag.
every
with
feud
Edge,
with Edge, especially.
to be a
yeah.
mixed tag.
But-
Like mixed tags don't work. There's a
Right.
reason they did that tournament once and never again.
Yeah. And I really do think that moving forward, I mean, this is just jump into Raw just for half a second, is now that the OC is back, we got AJ Styles and the Good Brothers.
that direction.
It looks like it's going to be AJ Styles and the Good Brothers feud with Judgment Day.
I think it's much more likely now that with the OC back, that if we get anything, it's just Rhea and Beth,
Yes.
and Edge will move on or be involved, but not
Yeah.
the marquee.
There'll be interference in the match, but that's it.
Yeah.
And
So I wonder what's next for Edge then. Who else was on the list?
I don't know. I really don't know.
He's gotten through a lot of it.
I don't know how much longer he's sticking around either.
I know he wanted a title run, but those were promises from Vince.
The problem hasn't gotten any better, right? Just having Bray come back,
The problem is only getting worse.
yeah, doesn't make it better that the belts are on one person.
Oh yeah,
Roman's got to drop one.
he has
Because
to, and soon.
now Bray is back. Knock on wood, praying for him. Randy will be back.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Nobody really knows.
Yeah.
But I tell you who is coming, and that's Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes come back. Brock is back.
Brock is back. So that top of the card is full.
Very full.
They need a
And there's like 2 tiers of top guys now. So there's a handful.
Yeah. You need to get that second belt off Roman. There's just no good way to do it.
No, there's not. That's the real problem, is there's really no good way to do it. And, like, the one big problem they're going to have, too, is, like, Theory still has Money in the Bank.
And Theory's losing to Johnny.
Yeah, like, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
that's
anything.
okay. But, like...
Money in the Bank runs out soon. What's it, like, another 4 months? 5 months?
No, it's got till June, May.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I forget that it was...
Not Mania anymore.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Silly me.
You start... I know, like, we all pre-book everything, WrestleMania, everything, the whole WrestleMania season, but he's not cashing in before Mania.
No.
Successfully.
No. And if you want him to lose, that's fine. That's fine.
That's different. That's totally cool.
And then you realize what a mistake it was, and you just move on. Cut your losses.
Yeah. But he's definitely not cashing in successfully before April. And normally Money in the Bank is the next or second to next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So...
It's getting... very tight.
Yeah.
Especially because all the rumors and all the signs are still that it's going to be Rock.
Yeah, it's still looking like it's going to be The Rock.
So if they're still doing The Rock, what, are you going to not have the title defended? On either night?
You can't do that.
You're going to have Roman wrestle twice? Okay, maybe. Maybe probably not.
I doubt he'll want to.
Probably not.
I highly doubt it.
And then if he does, you know what he's going to do? I'm main eventing both nights.
Yeah.
And then you know who's not going to be happy?
The women.
Yeah. So this is a problem that needs to be figured out.
This is a problem that when you really start to look at it, really starts to spiderweb out to cause a lot more problems.
Yeah, because you have a lot of talent that's going to start getting unhappy too. I know TV time, you're working, you're getting paid.
Yes and no. I understand titles mean a lot to a lot of people. But if they do pay-per-views like they have been, where marquee matches can still be main events,
right?
You really can't complain. Especially, like, I know we rag on AEW a lot, but, like, that's your other option.
Yeah.
And they've had 3 champions ever.
No, you're very
4
true.
champions
very
ever.
True.
So it's not like you're going over there and getting the main title.
All of this is correct. But you think Seth Rollins wanted to be United States champion after this years?
I know. I 100% agree with stuff like that. But he's not leaving.
I know he's not leaving.
But if you're someone, like, who's on the fence, and you're around, like, the upper mid-card range, what would you rather be? TNT champion or wrestling on Extreme Rules?
Or main eventing Extreme Rules. Yeah, no, you're right. But that won't play for everyone. Some people will go take the money somewhere else.
No, I agree.
Like Moxley, for instance.
Yeah, he just signed a 5-year extension.
5-year extension.
Good for him. In a mentorship role as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I don't know.
I'm surprised at that one. I'm interested.
I'm going to sound like such a hater. I'm going to sound like such a WWE fanboy and stuff, but, like, at this point in his career, like, watching his he can't hang with these guys anymore.
I agree, but here's the thing. I don't disagree with you at all in that statement. But if you're going to sign, like, a coaching mentorship role,
why not do it?
You know H loves you.
Yeah.
Like, why not come do it here?
Well, maybe a sense of, like, you guys picked me up when I was at my worst, and, you know, paid for me to go to rehab, and now I'm clean up, and I'm paying it forward. And that's nice. That's all admirable.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, if he's happy, he's happy.
Yeah, I don't
Happy
care.
for him. Interesting.
Obviously, as a fan, I would prefer him come back, but he probably, at the same time, he's champion. You see how cluttered the top is. Like,
yeah, probably.
What do you
see
think?
the writing on the wall, like, champion over here, not so much over here. Yeah, interesting.
With that said,
the main event,
the final match, the Fight Pit.
The Fight Pit.
Another freaking great match.
Great match. DC doing a fantastic job as referee. Fantastic job.
The best thing you can do as a ref is not be in the match, is not be noticed at all.
And he had his moment in the beginning
They had the 2 minutes of, he got pushed by Riddle, he got pushed by Seth, he looked at them both and said, "You're not fighting me, you're fighting him." That was
And then never saw him again.
He was so good. He was out of every camera shot.
Knew where the camera was. He did a fantastic job.
Honestly, he looked the part too.
Can't say enough.
Yeah,
Can't say enough, honestly.
If I could just get DC in a permanent referee role,
He did such a good job.
he'd be the best ref.
He really would. And I know we talked about this while we were watching. Like, he's been, for those of you who don't know, we're talking about Daniel Cormier. Those who aren't UFC fans, DC. He's been wanting to get in WWE for a while.
Yes.
And at first we were like, oh, that was kind of weird that he, like, didn't do anything. But What a good way for him to just get the foot in the door.
Yeah.
And what a good way to promote the match by having DC be the best.
You're getting fans you might not have had.
Yeah.
Getting some reach, some exposure you might not have had.
And even though it's scripted, fake, whatever you want to call it, it does make the fight feel a little bit more legitimate when you have a real fighter in there.
And this feud lent itself to that as well.
100%.
Whether they are over it in real life or not, they made me believe that they genuinely dislike each other.
Oh, yeah. And there probably is still some disdain. Yeah. But there's also obviously a professional relationship. Yeah. But it made it seem like they're really going to kill each other in there.
Yeah. The results, I'm guessing they're done anyway.
I think they're done.
I think this feud is over.
Yeah.
Especially because of the results on Raw.
Yes.
Riddle goes, I want to wrestle Roman. And then, no, he wrestles Sammy. And then Seth becomes champion.
United States champion.
So that feud is done.
The second time.
Yeah. That feud is, I hope, done.
Seems like it is. Yeah. Seems like we're moving on from that.
Quick star rating.
What
do you think overall show?
I would give this an 8.5.
So by that logic, this was the perfect show but for the women's Extreme Rules?
There really wasn't much more that I could ask for. Other than maybe not having Roman on the card. Like, there's nothing else I was sitting there like, damn, I wish this match had that.
And the return.
Most of it was like, great. Yeah. The return was awesome. I loved it.
I think that I'm maybe a little bit lower than that. I think maybe 7.5.
Okay.
I think the cross ending was not good. Okay. But yeah, that's it. It's really the women's Extreme Rules match deducts all the rating for me. Because I could have gotten over the cross finish.
But I think everything else is a B or higher.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's an F. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then they got us all. Seth Rollins is walking out of the fight pit with his head down, suffering defeat. They throw up the thank you for watching.
They did get me with that.
The logo.
They did.
And then all of a sudden.
Real quick, before we get into that, shout out Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Because that guy is a company dude.
Yeah.
Guys, are we on the air still?
Yeah.
Guys.
Awesome.
What a professional.
Could you imagine how mad you would be if you're watching and usually when that thing comes on,
it's
like, done.
Yeah, good.
It's over. But we sat there, we waited.
That's why.
Guys, are we still on the air?
You never stop watching until the next show comes on.
Yeah, until the screen.
Or the logo
yep.
pops up. Not the pay-per-view logo, but the WWE logo. That or the next thing on the network. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd never turn it off.
Could you imagine how disappointing it would have been if it wasn't Bray? If they were like doing all this and then everyone threw the cameras up with the flashlights on and then it wasn't Bray. That would have been hilarious. But it was Bray.
It was Bray.
Crisis averted.
Bray Wyatt.
And then we have the season premiere of Raw.
DX's little anniversary thing. That was cool. Nothing exciting, but it was cool. It was
nice.
I
think we got to maybe pull the plug on that.
I think this is probably the last time
this has got to be it.
Yeah.
I don't need this anymore.
Other than the Hall, when they get in, we're good.
Because I'm a big fan of Shawn, obviously. My all-time favorite. Love H, top 5 all-time. I'm done with this.
Yeah, I'm over it.
It's like, it doesn't even have the nostalgia anymore.
No,
it's just
it doesn't.
Is the forced effect. Like, oh, DX is here. And then they forced, and this is going to sound like I'm a super Gen Z millennial. You're forcing old men to be silly and goofy. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe they still act like that with each other. Maybe they still do it backstage, and it
doesn't land anymore.
It doesn't hit anymore.
Yeah, no, we're past it.
Yeah, and especially now because everyone knows how involved Triple H is. Like, there is no behind the curtain.
Kayfabe is dead.
Yeah. So we know Triple H's role in this. Like, oh, so you booked yourself to come out?
Yeah.
Cool. No.
You booked yourself as the main event? All right, sick.
Cool.
Sick.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
No, cool. Yeah.
But with that said, I'm never gonna not see.
Never gonna be upset about
DX
Shawn, on my screen. Yeah.
But maybe more
dial it down. Yeah.
It's like when Flair was coming back every week.
Every week, it's like, all right, maybe not. But other than that, Raw was really good.
Yeah.
United States champion.
The title change. Brock
OC back.
Just popping up
Brock
on a
back.
Raw. And I gotta be honest, I love that it was for Bob.
Yeah,
I love that it was for Bob.
That'd be a great match.
Definitely feared they were gonna go right back to the.
Thank God they didn't dip back into the well.
Yeah.
What do you do with Brock?
I think you let him just beat up Bobby.
You just let him win,
or he loses to Bobby.
If he either way, what do you move into him with Mania?
I don't know. He's going to day one. He's advertised
for
day one.
Probably going to be a Mania.
He's going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
He's gonna be at Mania. He's absolutely gonna be.
What
at
about
Mania.
Brock and Cody?
That would be sweet if we can get the belt on one of them beforehand.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
I would
cool,
like
right?
that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I like that too.
I don't know how you do it though, because
No idea.
circles back to our problem.
Major problem.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Or they'll figure it out. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I know they've been workshopping a lot of stuff. Like apparently, like a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Like anything they can think of.
I mean, is it so bad to just be like Roman's taking a vacation? He's vacating one belt.
No, I think you have.
Like that's an option.
I think you would have to start a storyline, and a lot of people are not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But you do it anyway.
Yeah.
You have someone from the back that we've never seen, from some executive from USA, that
This is nonsense.
we need our title on our show. And not only does they take it from Roman, they give it to somebody. Hand-pick somebody.
Wow.
Because a lot of people, that's going to piss off a lot of people if they pick someone you don't like, kind of thing. But I think it makes a really good story.
Better than just a tournament.
I think it makes a really good story.
I don't hate that. Because then your first feud is, you didn't even earn this.
You didn't even earn it. Yeah. I think it's a good story. And then you can, if you want to do your tournament, number one contender tournament.
Yeah. I don't hate that. That's not bad. But we'll see.
Yeah.
See what happens. Just one last quick point before we get into the final thoughts or whatever. DraftKings this week.
Yes.
With who should get the next WWE title? Was it shot or next champion?
It was a WrestleMania match.
Okay. And all of them were normal. It was like
Seth, Bob,
Brock,
Drew.
Yeah. But then there was one.
There was one that was very interesting.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker on the list.
And I know that it's scripted.
Yep.
It's not necessarily like real sports or whatever, but does DraftKings know something we don't?
I would assume they have a contact, right? That's
Ye-
telling them what to put in there.
You got to think they're not just pulling Braun Breaker out of nowhere.
They did kind of pull Edge out of nowhere to win the Royal Rumble that one time.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff they do that is a little peculiar.
And Braun Breaker was in the crowd.
He was.
He got the crowd doing the hoo, hoo, hoo.
So was Nikhil Lyons, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Weird, too, to just show up.
Very weird. One, not going to say which. You can draw your own conclusions. One maybe a little bit more ready than the other.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But
Draw your own conclusions.
all right. With that said,
Yeah.
I think that is talking wrestling for
That's
the
wrestling
week.
for the week. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yes.
We'll be back next week with some more wrestling stuff.
Fresh content.
Like and subscribe down below. Comment. Let us know what your rating for Extreme Rules
Yeah.
out of 10. Let us know what you thought. Your favorite match.
Yeah.
Did you like the Bray Wyatt return? What's next for Mr. Bray himself?
Yeah. Mr. Wyatt.
Mr. Wyatt. Socials down in the description.
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter at resthold_pod. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Let us know what you guys think. We like interacting. We like talking wrestling clearly. So
Yeah, obviously.
if you guys
Do it a
got
lot.
questions, you guys want to see segments, you guys want anything, let us know.
Oh, Bo Dallas allegedly coming back.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that's it.
Bring back Curtis Axel too.
Yeah, Ryback.
Nope.
Nope.
Not
That's
Ryback.
not Ryback.
No, never Ryback.
Never.
All right.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Peace.